I'm gonna talk about something. Set up the goddamn anal tripod first. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about Akito the Exiled. Where is it? Akito the Exiled from Code Geass or Code Geass. Distractions. Okay. But no, I have the distraction there. Akito the Exiled. Akito the Exiled is a 5-episode series that is roughly about 50 minutes long each episode. Therefore, it's roughly 5 hours of content for Akito the Exiled. And it expanded on the mythology of Code Geass. If you really enjoyed Code Geass 1 and 2 or Season R1 and Season R2, then I think you would be quite surprised by the story that is fleshed out in Akito the Exiled. It has nothing to do with not okay, actually, if it's a recommendation here, 7 stars out of 10 for Akito the Exiled Code Geass. Code Geass Akito the Exiled. It's going to be lots and lots of what we call spoilers, so stop watching this video and go watch Akito the Exiled. It's only 5 hours of your life. There's a lot of course, the name is Code Geass, and definitely there are a lot of connections to the to the universe of Code Geass. And of course, Lelouch's what Lelouch was doing between R1 and R2, or Season 1 and Season 2 of Code Geass. It's very interesting. It's fleshed out what the hierarchy of this Britannia country, what it is like, and I appreciate it a lot. It just further enhances the structure, or it gives more detail into what life is like under the Britannia rule, and of course what their structure is like, their hierarchy, who is the boss, and blah blah blah. There's a lot of characters that you might be interested in. Furthermore, you will get to, remember R1 and R2, there's China was fleshed out too somewhat. So there are actually 3 factions in this Code Geass world. There was, of course, Britannia itself, then there was Europe, and there was China. 3 major factions. So we got to hear and experience the Britannian rule. We get to experience the Chinese Federation. But in R1 and R2 Code Geass, we did not know anything about Europe, what was going on in Europe. So Akito the Exile takes place in Europe. So it's nice that they fleshed out what was happening in Europe during this moment of turmoil, during Lelouch Britannia's rampant what I would call scheming and destruction, and trying to break down the status quo, or the stabilization of the three countries or three federations or three ruling factors. I think I need to sleep. So this takes place about a couple of years after the end of R2, the season 2. So they use a lot of CGI, and it might take you out or it might not. I'm not sure, but god damn it, it looks pretty. It's not cartoony. It's not as cartoony as the R1 and R2. This is definitely eye candy. The animation is just superb, very nice. The R1 and R2 is very cartoony. You can tell that they just drew it, right? So there's not much detail in the mechs. In Akito the Exiled, there are a lot of mechanical detail that you get to admire, especially when you watch it on maybe the highest setting like 1080p. It was like, even though it's CGI, but it's still beautiful, it's still detailed. You can see the mechs. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. You can't like draw it and retain such beautiful detail, so they have to use CGI, and they use CGI in here. In the first episode, we get to experience another type of suit from the European side. It's something like a crawling type of suit. The first episode, they used the CGI and there was a battle, and it was like very difficult to see what is happening because everything is moving at a very fast pace. So that's the bad thing about it. You do not get to enjoy the battles. It's moving too fast. It was too frantic. That's the problem with using CGI. Or you get the freedom of moving all these very detailed computer generated images, and therefore they like ramp up the speed. Who gives a damn? It's very fast. You can't like savor the moments of battle because it was so frantic, it was so fast. It's just quite confusing. Story wise, story. Of course, the star of the show is not Lelouch, but Lelouch has a cameo in here, and you'll be surprised at what he does. At first, I did not know who was this person who has this eye patch and a gem on it. Is that? No, I did not put 2 and 2 together to figure out that was really Lelouch. Lelouch in this Akito the Exile, he was like, his mind was changed, so he's still a tactical genius, but King, whatever his name is, King George, I'm not sure, is Lelouch's father tried to use him to conquer Europe. So, and of course his the person who defeated him is with him, trying to guard him. Everybody else does not know who this Lelouch guy is. It's a very interesting concept. Akito the Exile, I wish they had or will make a season 2 because it's very interesting. I want to know what's happening in Europe or in the Europe faction. What else is there to say? The animation, the artwork is very detailed, very nice. There are a lot of like things that they can do to flesh out the story. There are a lot of loose ends. What about the researcher's husband who's in a coma? What happens to him? There's a lot of possibilities for future seasons or future episodes for this thing. It's interesting, and I'm also interested in the character, the main character. What's his story? He's 11. He's a Japanese, so this is anime. It's an anime. You have to have some Japanese ties, right? I'm very interested in the continuation of this story. But at the end of episode 5, all of the main characters became gypsies. So if they wanted to continue on with the story, they have to like make these main characters who are already content with life as gypsies to go back into saving Europe. you know, Europe, there's a major catastrophe and they have to save Europe, so they have to go back inside the war or stuff, something like that, or the gypsy was destroyed, all the old women were killed, then they want to seek revenge. So that will be the catalyst for making another season, and a catalyst for them to go back into fighting. Anything else to say? The villain was okay. There's a couple of nitpicks. There's a girl who likes the villain, and why run in front of the fucking katana? The girl wanted to kill herself, so she ran in front of his katana, and she was brandishing a gun, and she shot the villain as well, the villain that she loved, and both of them die. And suddenly the villain knows the error of his ways and repented when he was dying. All that bullshit, very cliche, very bullshit. That's one of the major gripes of this thing. The villain is just, why must all the villains repent? Can't they just be villainous and evil for that purpose, you know? We have the favorite character of Code Geass, the C2, with green hair, the chick with green hair, the sexy chick with green hair. She was in here for a while as a flashback, so it was okay. I summarized that this order of the Geass originated in Europe for sure. You know that this order of Geass, they move from one place to the other, blah 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 blah. You know, they move here and there. C2 just happened to be captured in Europe, I summarize or I deduce, and was brought to Japan for experimentation, and that's where R1 picked off, with C2 meeting Lelouch of Britannia. So yeah, that's what I thought of. C2 was in Europe, she was wandering in Europe, was captured somewhere in Europe, brought to Japan, or she was traveling around the world. She happened to be in Japan, where she was recognized and captured, and when she was captured, her transport the 11s, the terrorists, thought it was a weapon, and they tried to steal it, but it was actually C2 inside the ball or weapon, and blah 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 R1. This is in season 1 already. So there's a lot of things that is nice about this anime. So at first, when it came out many years ago, I'm not sure what year it came out, this Akito the Exiled, I had my reservations about this. I thought, oh shit, they're gonna continue on with this malarkey, because the R2 ending is so like final. Oh my god, the star of the show is dead. Lelouch is dead. And suddenly, what prompted me to go and watch this Akito the Exiled? Because well, they're going to have a 3rd season, which is called Code Geass Lelouch the Resurrection. Yeah, the title is Code Geass Lelouch the Resurrection, or Resurrected. I think it's Resurrected. That's more like grammatically correct. If they use Lelouch the Resurrection, that's really Japan not knowing their English, and it's not the resurrection of Lelouch. So that when they announced the 3rd season, oh my god, holy shit, they're gonna resurrect Lelouch. Oh my god, what devious schemes can Lelouch make to destroy Britannia or something like that, or try to rule the world. That's why I'm watching watched Akito the Exiled, to see what they have to offer. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it is pretty good. CGI is good, the story is okay. It did further a bit of the the story, and there were a lot. I mean, there were a couple of like people with this power, this Geass power, as was like talked about in R1 and in R2. You know, R2, there was this organization making these weapons. These people who have this power, who was bestowed this Geass power by either C2 or V2. So it's very easy to give the power of the Geass to other people by making a contract. The people who can do that, to give the power, is C2 and V2. So they were making a lot of these people, so logically there would be a lot of these superpowered people. The characters is pretty good, I like it. The one with the red hair, the girl, of course you get to see some nipple action, which is good. They continue on the tradition of showing some nipples. So we get to see her nipples, and you know, R1 and R2, we get to see what's the fan favorite girl besides C2. What's her name already? I forgot her name. The pink-haired girl. You can see her nipples. Nice. We don't know where. On the island, I think, or was it in the shower scene with Lelouch? Good stuff. You have to have fan service, you know. Oh, what else is there? What else is there? I'm not going to talk about the characters. I'm just going to say that, oh, there's a cat. Okay, there's a cat in it. I don't know why. What's the fixation between cats and Code Geass? In R1 and R2 there was a cat, and this Akito the Exiled, there is a cat. But there was no Pizza Hut sponsorship. Pizza Hut. I guess Pizza Hut is very like tied to C2, and C2 is not here, so she's not eating pizzas. Okay, I'm not gonna like overanalyze this Akito the Exiled. It's great shit. Go watch it. It's good. Sayonara. Bye bye. I think that's all. I don't want to like talk too much about Akito the Exiled. Sayonara. Bye bye.